Hi guys, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery, and I'm located in Van.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Highland Heights, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
All right, we're live. Hello, Becca.
We're live. We're
We're
live.
live. What are you doing your nails over there?
Yeah. I told Ryan that I was just going to start doing my nails during our podcast because it keeps me occupied.
Do you paint your nails like once
Um,
a week?
no, but I didn't, and I was like, well, maybe I should.
This
You
should be
know?
your weekly nail care.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm not wasting time because we're talking, and it probably will help me focus better because ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I have a good feeling about this.
Nice.
Nice, nice, nice,
You
nice.
used to paint a little bit. Now you're doing a
Yeah,
little bit of nail care. Okay.
I could still paint probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I probably should paint pendants.
Yeah.
I'm just like really doing shitty about like getting things finished. That's really a
Why
bummer
is that?
situation for me. I don't know. I think it's just 'cause like everybody got really excited about them, so I was like, well, fine, I won't do them.
What? They got
I mean,
excited, so you said I won't do them?
or not that I won't do them, I just won't make a big deal about it. I don't know. I just am really good at not doing what people want.
People get excited. So that doesn't motivate you. People being excited about it doesn't motivate you.
Oh
You're
God,
motivated by people, you want to like
not.
prove people wrong that like
Y
you wish that you had been excited about this because
yeah,
I'm excited about it.
yeah. There's this thing called PDA. It's pathological demand avoidance, and it's part of the autistic spectrum situation. And I like was looking into it a little bit just because of a friend's kid, but then I started like looking into it more, and I was like, this sounds a lot like my childhood. And
Hmm.
and it's essentially like when kids like need their own autonomy. And so like if you tell them no, they're like, fuck you. And and then
Hmm.
they do their own shit, which I think kids do anyway, right? Generally. It's not like a
Yeah.
but like literally my mom would bribe me in high school and be like, "No, no, fuck your bribe." You know?
So she's got to do a little reverse psychology situation to
Oh yeah.
back you into a decision that she wanted in the first place, but
Yep, and let
you
me tell
know,
you, I'm glad I have a really intelligent mom because she did that a lot.
I
So,
just like hearing parents say, "So do you want to do this or do you want to do that?" It's like a like you think you have a choice, but it's like it's very limited. I mean, some of that's probably just taking a little bit of the
yeah.
options off the table for the kids at certain ages, but
Yeah, you can't give them too many choices or else they or like um I was at a restaurant with kids and the mom was like, "What do you want off the menu?" And the kid is like, "I want the mac and cheese." And she's like, "Nah, that's fucking Kraft mac and cheese. We're not getting that shit. I'm not paying $10 for Kraft mac and cheese."
for microwave mac and cheese.
She's like, "You can choose another food." And
So
then
then you
it
almost need to lead with what would you
yeah,
like of these two things,
exactly. You have to
excluding
give
mac and cheese, so that they're not disappointed when they say what they want and then they get let down.
precisely because if you let the kids choose 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, I guess, or 9.5 out of 10, they're always going to choose the shitty ass mac and cheese or whatever that you can cook at home. And they're
Chicken
just,
fingers or whatever.
yeah, like the food that, yeah,
Well, maybe
yep.
it's a situation where it's like a kids eat free thing with adult purchase, kids eat free. So then, like, maybe you don't care as much what they decide to get.
Yeah, but it's not. It's never that situation, Ryan.
I don't know. I'm not a parent, but I don't know. It sounds frustrating going to just seeing the amount of like waste that kids have at restaurants with
Oh God, it's the
plates, I'm
worst.
just like, oh, it hurts me so bad.
I don't think that I would even give kids like an option. I'd just be like, cool, you want to share some French fries? And then
Yeah, it'd
like
be
make them
like
eat at home.
you can have some of mine, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everybody shares. Like I think that every restaurant should be family style.
Yeah, just give us a big bowl of pasta in the middle and we can
Yeah, we're
share it
fine.
around. Or, I think Indian restaurants do that a lot and
Ugh, I love Indian restaurants. It's a great style and it's a great way of cooking. And
hmm
it's like nobody just wants one thing anyway. I mean, like if they do, then that's fine. But like, come on, tell me that you don't like get the fucking tikka masala and then somebody gets the fucking spinach whatever thing and you're like, that looks really good. Can I try that?
Yeah, I like to
Like,
safely try something without I feel so bought in to order something that I'm not familiar with. So I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna go with something comfortable because I don't want to order a whole thing and
yeah,
not like it. But if it's group style, I'll be like, oh, let me try that. Oh, I might get
let
that
me
next
try
time.
that. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, you know?
hmm
Fucking
Yeah, that's
people.
probably good for the family dinner kind of situation, but I don't know. I guess there's some kids that just don't want to eat anything and they'll only eat the one thing. So you're just like, okay,
Yeah,
that's
my
what they'll
mom said
eat.
that I
If
was like
they're
a,
only going to do that, then, whatever.
yeah, my mom said I was like a really, it was like really hard to get me to eat. Like, all I ate was cheese and crackers. And I mean, like, let's be clear, I'm not that picky as an adult. Like, literally, your parents always say, Becca will eat it.
Yeah. My dad will
So,
eat most stuff too, so
yeah, like, I
well, most
remember
stuff
they
around the house. He won't eat certain things otherwise, but
sometimes when you're not there or whatever, and they like ordered Chinese and I'm coming into town, like one time I was coming into town, they're like, what do you want? I was like, I don't care. I do not care. And they're
yeah, how
like, okay, well,
wild
we
can
got,
the order be that I would be like,
yeah.
don't get that. You know?
And yeah, and they were like, okay, we got some stuff and we figured you just eat it. I'm like, that is true. That's actually true. I will just eat it. It's not, it's,
Exactly.
but I was not like that as a child.
hmm So what else is going on this week? What's new?
Um, well, the guy that does wheels, um, Renzo, he is out this week because I think he hurt his back, which is sucky. And so I've been in Wales all week, and it has been straight chaos because Renzo knows everything, everything.
Mm,
And like I know nothing, comparatively. And so yeah, it's been fun. It's been a fun week. Um, yep. It's today they had me try to make two wheels with an Australian plug, and I know I wired it correctly, but they're not working.
how do you
So
test that? Because do you have like a generator box or something that has Australian plug? Like, how do
they
you
have a
actually validate
220,
it?
they have a two plug, and then they had like some, and um, like they have plugs because he makes European style wheels,
hmm
so they're on 220 instead of 120.
110.
220 instead of 120, 110.
I guess.
And
Yeah.
so like he has like 8 plugs for that, but Australia has their own set of things. It's not European and it's not American. It's like somewhere right in the middle. So like the plug's different, but everything else is the same. And so
Okay.
yeah. So anyway, like I got finished with it, didn't work, and me and my boss are just kind of like looking at it. And we're like, well, we tried.
Because I'm guessing it's not as simple as you cut off the end of the plug where the 110-volt normal plug for US would be, and then you just rewire it to a new plug. Is that all it is, or do you have to change something
Kind of.
on the
It's like a whole new,
internals
yeah,
as
it's like a
well?
whole new plug. Yeah. Yeah, so it's I don't know. But yeah, it's like a whole new plug and yeah. So
That what does it do if it just doesn't work, right? It's not like sparking and
yeah,
like
just no, it just
like
didn't turn on.
okay.
So yep. And but anyway, I mean, I think it's kind of cool that we like take the time to try and figure that stuff out. Like,
Well,
do
yeah, you
the
should.
European, I don't know if people really understand how hard it is and how different European wiring is comparatively to ours. You know? It seems to me that like the American system of electrical is a lot simpler than the European systems.
Well, the
So,
European system is probably inherited. We're so much
yeah.
younger of a nation than
Yeah, but we
everywhere
invented
else.
electricity. So,
Oh, that's true. I guess I don't know the history of electricity. I mean, I know Thomas Edison stuff, but
the light bulb is electricity.
is that the original origin, like, or is there
Yeah,
something before that? Like, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
I feel like that's a simple question, but maybe I just don't. I don't know about the history of electricity in Europe.
Also, I would like to say this because my friend said this to me the other day and I've never thought about it. And they're like, why do they say that Americans drive on the wrong side of the road when we're the ones that invented the car? Anyway, I never thought about that. And I
Eh,
was like, holy shit.
hmm.
What?
Okay. Um, it's talking about different stuff. It's talking about batteries, 1800s, um, static electricity experiments back in the 1700s.
Maybe look at like,
Benjamin Franklin flying his kite in a storm. That's 1752.
yeah.
And it said, I mean, the Thomas Edison came around 1879, perfects the practical light bulb, and builds early power stations using direct current. Hmm. I mean,
Also,
1800s when the
also,
first true battery came around. So,
okay.
hmm.
Also, I think, and also another thing that like continuously blows my mind is that the 1800s are my grandparents' parents. Like, my grandparents were born in 1914, 16, 18, and 20, right? Their parents could have been born in the 1800s.
Hmm.
Fucking wild, bro. It's fucking
Okay,
wild.
yeah. All right. Early adoption and rollout in the United States versus Europe. Electrification began in the 1880s, especially in major cities like New York. And then for Europe, it said adoption varied by country, generally starting in 1880s to 1890s. Okay, so yeah, it sounds like they
So
were
it was us.
okay. Voltage differences. That's what you're talking about. The US ended
Yeah.
up with 110 to 120 volt AC, which is I don't know, was that active current? Is that what that is? I can't remember what the AC stands for. 60 hertz, and then European
Yeah.
standardized to 220 to 240 volt, 50 hertz.
Yeah, and
So,
also what the fuck? Like I thought the point was to have like a government, like a world government in the like end of time or whatever. Like we're never gonna do that if we can't just communicate about our electrical. Okay? Like fucking dumb as shit. I hate it.
somebody was at, I don't know if it was Rachel or someone was asking me about the metric system versus the imperial system. We were looking up like when did they originate and all that kind of stuff. And I think it was about that the metric system was around for so long, and then when they came over to North America and stuff and started settling, like they kind of started with the imperial system because it was very new at that point, and they were like, "Well, we're starting new." I mean, I'm kind of paraphrasing this, but we're kind of starting new,
Let's
so we're
just
going to start
invent
with
a whole
this.
new system.
Or maybe
Fucking dumb.
actually, maybe imperial was first, and then metric was coming at that same. Maybe I'm
Well,
maybe I'm doing this
metric makes a
backwards.
whole hell of a lot more sense. And honestly, with the way the United States of America is going right now, I honestly wouldn't blink twice if somebody told me that they were like, you know what? The metric system makes sense. Let's do something else.
Oh, it's a the imperial system is rooted in traditional English units, and then the metric system came in the late 1700s in France.
Huh. But France isn't metric, right?
I don't know. I would guess. I mean, I would guess most of those places over there are in metric, right?
Yeah. Maybe not Australia. You never know. I know there's a
Hmm.
few countries that aren't, but
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, some of that's just timing of like when things are developed and
yeah.
when, I don't know. I'm sure there's some big decision makers at some point that are like, we're going to go with this and we're going to stick to it because we're so embedded with it that we're just going to like flipping it back to the other thing is completely like
Yeah.
backwards at this point. I don't know.
Oh, I do have one thing. I thought that I'd gotten through 7 months of nobody other than the marketing team listening to the podcast. And
Oh, really?
and yeah, and one of the guys that helps with the wheels and he's pretty much retired, but um we talk all the time. And he was like, "I listened to your podcast." And I was like, "Oh no." And I think he listened to the depression one. Yeah, it was
Oh,
that one because he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah, you said that you like had another one that
mm.
that you like recorded and then it wasn't good enough." I was like, "Yeah, but
That's
I
the
don't mind
only
it."
episode he listened to?
I think so.
Oh my gosh. Diving in deep.
Deep.
Damn. You should
Yeah.
have been like, can I recommend this episode
Uh,
instead?
yeah. So anyway, that was something that happened, but I don't mind.
Yeah, it's a
I
little
actually
interesting because
didn't.
sometimes there's folks around that will see you at a show or something and say, "Hey, I listen to you," and I'm like, "Hmm, I feel like you have the leverage in this situation." Even though I
Yeah.
know myself, I'm like, "What do you think?" It's like, "What do you think?" Because you listen. But I don't know. I don't think that much about it, but I mean, I do sometimes think of like they know way more about me than I know about them, so it's kind of an
Yes,
interesting situation when you're talking to
it
them. But
is.
I mean, I'm usually very gracious and, there's no reason to be.
Yeah. Um, Today at lunch, there's a kid that always sits on the bench, and I was like, "Do you want to come sit with us? Like, you're more than welcome to." And he's like, "I'm welcome," and I was like, "Fuck yeah, you're always welcome." And he came and sat, and I think I had said like, "Oh well, yeah, I was talking on the podcast or whatever, blah blah blah," and he goes, "Wait, you have a podcast?" And I was like, "Yes."
Oh no.
And then all the girls were
You're like,
like,
don't listen
"And
to the
she's
depression
famous."
episode.
Like, yes, you
You're cutting
that
out, so
I'm well known. Okay.
you're cutting out there. I stopped your video in case that helped because you cut out there for like 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. Um, I was like, I'm well known in ceramics. I would not say famous. So
Yeah, I
anyway,
don't I don't like the oh he's famous or I'm like, no, I mean in the scope of the world, like there's so many
yeah, in our little tiny niche, we know
most of the
people.
people that we interact with don't even have social media or use it that much. Well, they probably do, but they don't use it to the extent that like we're power users of social media more so than the average person, I would say. But like most people are consumers of content, they don't actually produce content. So like being known in that space, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Not that you don't get cool opportunities because of it.
Oh, for sure. We're very blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Very blessed. I think,
And then
yeah,
the
we're not
and
saying
then the
that.
and then the pool of people that have podcasts are like within our space is very small. So
Like five.
no, there's more than five. There's probably
Yeah.
like 15 or so, but
Yeah, but some of them are all from the Brickyard Network, so it's kind of,
hmm
I don't know.
yeah.
But
It's kind of like the,
regardless.
number of businesses that last a certain period of time and continue on and that kind of situation. You're in, become a smaller and smaller group.
Yeah, I will say that we are probably one of the longer running podcasts. There's been a lot of
Yeah.
changeover. Obviously Tales of the Red
Clay
Clay
Rambler.
Rambler uh is longer than us and
Yeah, I think he's like 12
longer than
years or
us.
15, 13 years or something. Paul Blaze.
Yeah,
Yep.
but I don't know if they're longer than us. Yeah, Paul um and Clay Rambler. So,
hmm
yeah, I feel pretty proud about that. I feel proud about our longevity.
Yeah. Yeah. I think COVID kind of sparked a lot of people to get into it and try it more
Yeah.
and kind of get a taste of it and see what they think. And yeah, I
You
think
know what I was thinking?
continuing to figure out what to talk about and what to ask people to get on and stuff. I think that gives us flexibility. The not having to keep up with interviewing somebody every single episode definitely
Right,
helps.
but then we run out of topics.
I mean, that we have to come up with ourselves without using a little assistance, maybe.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, if we didn't ask for listener questions, we would have been well out of topics.
Yeah, I do sometimes feel like we've hit a plateau though, which I'm fine with personally. Um, but
Well, I think there's new
uh
people coming across all the time, and yeah.
I had an idea for a podcast today that I'm pretty positive no one's ever done. And I'm gonna say it on here because I want to do it and I need people to help me out.
So everybody tell her that it's not going to work, and then you'll do the opposite.
Yeah, for sure. Um, but honestly though, it traditionally if I tell people something, I never do it. Um, that's why diets never worked for me. So anyway, um, I think it would be fucking hilarious because I've been listening to a lot of debate podcasts recently, like atheism versus Christianity and like all that kind of shit. And I think it would be so fucking funny to have a podcast where there's debates about meaningless stuff, like Jello flavors, like chocolate cake versus vanilla cake, like citrus versus berries, and then give actual it would be fun to do the history of the item, but then like why is chocolate cake superior to vanilla cake or whatever.
But it's completely subjective. So what is the
Exactly. I
point?
think it would be fucking hilarious.
So there's not like it's not like why is this form a good form on this piece of pottery? And you can argue to the aesthetics of like history of form and all these things that like objectively make it good.
No, yeah,
But for
no,
this stuff,
no.
it's just completely subjective. Like, oh, well, I can't handle sweet as much. I like tart. Okay, well, you suck. Whatever. I don't know.
Exactly. But like I think it would be fun, like you have to come with like some evidence-based, like chocolate cake is better than vanilla cake because and P.S. I like vanilla cake more than chocolate cake. I'm just using this example. But because they sell, this company sells this many chocolate cakes and this many vanilla cakes, like I think that you have to come with like three topics that you had to research,
Mm.
like 3 points that you had to like have data for would be fucking hilarious. Like Jello flavors or like Ford versus uh, Toyota, or like I don't know.
Why orange is the best color or something like that?
Yeah, like people that love the color orange versus people that love the color blue, and then talk about their mental state, and just stupid shit like that. I think that would be so fucking funny. And you're already laughing.
I'm laughing because there's no like it's not that you're trying to sway someone. You're just arguing points that support why you think what you think. I mean, that's what a debate is, I guess, but but
Yeah,
it's yeah,
exactly.
you're not trying to sway anybody. You're just doing it for the fun of like bullshitting about it.
Yeah. Yeah, because and but also not in, and I think it would be like, obviously you have to be like, listen, people, we're not doing this for money. We're doing this for funsies, you know? Like we
And
can't
you're not
be.
like shaming the folks that like chocolate cake because you like vanilla cake. You're just stating why you think that this one is better.
Yeah, and this is all fun and games. This is not, we're not talking about death versus life here, you know?
Hmm.
So anyway, I'll be starting that podcast soon. So if anybody wants to debate topics that you and your friends constantly debate, rubber duckies versus, floaty toys, just let me know. Um, Squeezy yogurt versus yogurt in a cup, you know? Uh,
Okay. Hmm.
Chipotle versus Qdoba. Um,
Hmm.
yeah.
Interesting. I like it. Okay.
I mean, I feel like podcasts are so serious nowadays.
I
Even
mean,
the
it depends.
comedic
There's
podcasts,
there's so many podcasts out there though. Like I've been I've been binging so I listen to Pod Meets World, which is like a recap of Boy Meets World podcast. So they recap the
okay.
episodes and they break down stuff. And then I've been listening to one recently that's a MacGyver recap podcast. So they recap all
Oh
the
my
episodes of
God.
MacGyver. It's called
I love that.
Mullets and Memories. And I love it. It's hilarious. I just binge it and it's funny. Like there's two guys that host it and they chat about it and they chat about the episode for like 45 minutes. They kind of do a little cover the synopsis and then they give it a mullet rating at the end, which is 1 out of 5 mullets, 1 to 5 mullets.
Are they gonna,
And
can
then
they
they do
do
like
Walker, Texas Ranger next?
I don't know. I don't know if they did those, but yeah, it's like 80 shows and stuff. I think they might have done some other ones, but and I've been like
Um,
rewatching some MacGyver episodes from listening to these episodes, and they're just kind of funny.
they do that with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, two of the actors.
Mm, yeah,
It's so good. It's so good.
yeah. I think I listened to a couple when they first came out. Was that maybe a couple years ago when they first started it?
Yeah, I think so. It's really funny.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, and these are just they're just two guys that like watching the show. They're not trying to like deep dive it. They're like, "Hey, this is of the time. This is what we're doing. We're just trying to enjoy it for what it is. Not read too much into it and all that stuff."
Right.
But yeah, it's
I love that. I just feel like people take life so seriously, you know?
well, I mean, yeah, they're just it's just two people that like watching a show. If we, whatever your favorite show is, like watching MASH and doing a podcast talking about MASH, where you're just going
Exactly.
episode by episode and sharing what you liked about it, or Seinfeld or something. Like I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, I love that. It would be fun. I think that there's a podcast that does that with Star Trek, and it's two guys that love Star Trek and then a girl that's never seen it before.
Oh,
So I do like that concept too, bringing somebody in that's never seen it and then hearing their perspective as opposed to somebody who's clearly biased.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The Pod Meets World one, it's the three that are from the show. So it's Daniel Fishel, which is Topanga, Sean, and Eric from the show.
Mm,
So the three of them, and then they kind of share some experiences of like, here's what I remember from this episode, or here's what I remember from that week of
yeah.
filming, or whatever. So that's kind of what theirs is about. But yeah, kind of interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Love that. Okay, we should probably get moving. Um, but first,
But first,
but first. So, I got a message on Instagram this week, and I think you got a message too. And
yes, we both.
was it was a secret service message. The CIA of bags.
The CIA of bags.
The CIA of
The
bags.
secret bag company.
The secret um
I don't have an acronym, but
I know I was trying to figure out an acronym. I was like the secret obviously overland. La.
Sula, Sula, is that
Yeah,
what
Sula.
you're trying to
Yeah,
spell?
it's Sula.
Sula. They have a new
Anyway,
bag coming out, and they're
yeah.
sending it to us. It is a special brand new bag. I don't. Well, I might need to look back at the message. I'm pretty sure it's a brand new bag. Like I don't know that it's just a
Yeah, no, it's
variation
like
of the existing bag. It's a second bag.
it's a second bag. So, Ryan, if you were gonna get a second bag from Sula and there was like one thing that you were like, oh man, I hope it has this.
Ooh.
What is it?
Hmm. I would kind of like so there's pockets on the ends on the inside. I would kind of like it if there
Hmm.
was a side pocket on the inside.
Oh, that's a good
So that
answer.
you can either kind of like slide something wide in there instead of in the edges. I feel like that'd be kind of nice.
Hmm. Yeah, like some wide ribs.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or
okay.
maybe yeah. Yeah, what about you? What would you
I want a zipper.
a zipper? Okay. It might have a
Yeah.
zipper. I don't know.
Yeah, we never know. We don't know because we don't know. We
We
don't
don't even
know.
know what it looks like. It's not
We don't even know.
it's super secretive. So we're supposed to get it next week. By the time this is out, we would have already seen it, but you all will find out officially. It'll be released and shown to the public on October 16th.
Yeah. And that's like the most exciting thing I have heard this year, maybe.
Ooh. Ooh, maybe we should guess one thing. I want to guess how many colors do you think they're going to come out with for this
Oh,
new
oh,
second
oh,
bag?
good question. Good question.
Just to start off with for the launch day.
Okay. I'm gonna go with six.
Ooh, I'm gonna go four. I was thinking four or six, but I'll go four just to be different from you.
Okay. And also, if what color do you want, Ryan?
I mean, orange is
If
my favorite color. I would love to get like a burnt orange bag. I think that would
burnt
be
orange.
cool.
Okay, burnt orange.
I mean, it
Um,
feels pretty specialty. I don't know that they're gonna go with burnt orange. They'd probably go with whatever the most popular bag colors they already have are in their
yeah.
standard Sula bag. But
Yeah, because if you
I
think
mean,
about it, they've already been doing market research for like 3 years,
yeah. So,
four
I
years,
mean,
whatever.
with how many colors they've already got, I don't know
I
that. I
would
guess the
love for
closest
them
color
to
would
be
be cinnamon. Would
multicolored.
be. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love a multicolored situation. Um, and like I would love a 90s kind of color vibe. That would be great. I mean, they have a color vibe that's 90s right now, but it's very muted, it's very pastel-y.
Well, it's called
And
the '80s windbreaker, so that's more '80s. Is that the one you're talking about?
oh yeah, I guess it's 80s. But still, it's still like more muted than the 80s. But like a 90s windbreaker would be cool.
What would
Or
make it
maybe
'90s for you?
a 90s ski suit. The fuchsia purple color, like the bright bright purple color and with a teal and a yellow.
Purple, teal, and yellow.
Yeah, that's classic 90s to me.
Okay.
Like I remember my ski suit from when I was growing up, those colors with a pink. I mean, like if they wanted to add a pink, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad.
Okay. Yeah, the 80s windbreaker has 5 colors on it.
Yeah, that's the one I have at work.
Yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
stoked. I'm really excited now that we've just started talking about it. Yep.
Yeah, but
Yepity yep
yeah,
yepper.
I don't know. I wonder if they might have multicolor panels on it because they're kind of getting examples with these specialty ones that they're doing that are partnered that have multicolor. So I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing it's probably cheaper to start with solid colors, so maybe they'll go
I would
solid. I don't know.
assume. Yeah, they'll probably go solid. I mean, that makes sense. It's very safe to go solid. Um, I got an idea for a little bit of a jingle,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if it's like copyright or not. I was thinking, it's the bag that helps you back. Sula.
It's a bag that helps you back,
Yeah.
like helps your back, like
No, helps you back. Like it stores all your shit.
helps you back. Wait, back as in my back or pack, like P
I was thinking
helps you.
back like BACK, but honestly, pack isn't bad. We'll keep working on it. We'll keep
Hmm.
working on it.
They do have a little email sign up on their website that says, "Shh, we've got something new coming." So I'm
So
on their
go
website
sign
now.
up.
So sign up for a little email situation to find out. And then while you're there, if you do end up buying one, which I'm guessing it's going to take some time for them to get them out to distributors. So they might offer it on their website first. I'm sure they probably will. And you want to save some money, you can use Wheel Talk at checkout and save some bucks.
Yeah. Save some buckaroonies.
So look out for that. I'm sure they're going to do a ton of social media posting about it. You'll see the little um, teases, I'm sure, leading up to it. And yeah, the website is sula.co. That's SOOLLA.co. Yeah.
SOOLLA.co.
Okay. Are we going to our question that is an old question that we just
And
have
that's not
a
really a question.
easy,
Yes.
quick answer for? Okay. So somebody asked at one point that I ended up deleting the question because I didn't have an exact answer. But the question was, how do I mix my own underglaze? And I was like, that sounds like a perfect question for somebody that actually does that. And I asked Kurt Hammerly, and he said there's a great article on Glazy about it. And I'm gonna link it in the show description. So if you look down below at the episode notes, you'll see it. But on Glazy, there's a Mason Color Works white underglaze base and its status is in production. So like this recipe is like locked in. There's a bunch of details in here. It's got a bunch of stuff written about it. Derek All was the author, which I don't know if is he the guy that runs Glazy or is he? I've heard that name before.
Oh, that's not a question for me. I don't
I
know that
feel like
answer.
he's a popular name in ceramics, but I don't know exactly. Um, but yeah, there's a recipe on here. It tells you a bunch of steps about it. You know, how they came up with the recipe, what additives you add. It looks like there's, a lot of clays in here, and then the special mix to make it more of a like an underglaze liquid, like paintable and brushable. They've got some non-toxic antifreeze, water, and CMC liquid mixed
Who
in
would have
there.
guessed?
So, you know, you know, give a look at this sheet and this website. It's got a lot of information on here, and it tells you like order of operations, how to mix it to get it good. Um, the reason I asked Kurt was I saw him stirring it up because he's got like 5 gallon buckets filled with it, and he sprays his on. So he's doing, you know, a little bit of work there. I don't know if you've seen his work, you've seen some of his bright colored, and then he's got glazes that break over it, and the bright color underglaze shows through. So that's what he's using it for, and he's been using it in production for a long time. So, you know, I trust him for, you know, being able
Yeah,
to
for sure.
use it in a good fashion that it actually works pretty well. And
Does
he's
it say
going
the temp? Did you already
he
say that? Like what temp it
it
is?
it goes from cone 6 to cone 10, it looks like. Oxidation,
Okay.
reduction, and neutral.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's underglazes out there that go lower that are maybe available, but
Yeah.
looks like a pretty solid recipe. I mean, and it looks like a lot of the stuff is available too. I don't see anything crazy that's not available. But yeah, that's on Glazy. Go look that up. And he was saying one of the thing that Kurt was saying was he doesn't put any more than 20% mason stain. He uses mason stain for his colorants. He doesn't use any more than 20% of any stain for how he achieves his colors, just because I guess it changes it
Oh
a little
yeah.
bit too much for his liking. So,
Mason
okay.
stains can really screw you up. They can help you out a lot, but they can also really screw you up.
hmm I don't use too
But
much mason stain. I use the black and I use a blue stain for my slips.
the you remember the Imco clay I got at Ensika?
Yes.
I love it. Love it. I got like every color. But it's got so much stain in it, which they'd have to have a lot of stain in it because it's so bright, that it's really hard to hand build with. It tends to crack when it's in a small, confined like situation. Like I was trying to make beads, really small beads, and they almost all of them cracked. And so it needs to be like really compressed down or something like that. But yeah, I mean, like I think for throwing it's fine. Um, I know for throwing it's fine. But the hand building, it's been a little bit more picky. So I've been drying it slower to achieve less cracking.
Okay. And that's got a pretty good range of temperatures as well, or is that mostly mid-range?
It's 6. It's cone 6.
6. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So look for that answer down below. And then do you want me to ask the rapid question that is a
Yes.
surprise for you that you did not look
Yes.
up yet?
Yes.
Okay, this one reads, if you could trade studios with any potter, this could be any ceramic artist for a week, who would it be? I don't know if that means
Um,
you have to do their work that they normally do in the studio, or if it means that you're gonna see their just see their studio. I don't. Maybe work out of their studio would be kind of like you get to do your work in their studio. Huh. Maybe I'm reading too much in this. I don't know.
I would trade with Lindy.
Lindy Garner Ceramics.
Yeah, but not for her studio because she lives in Portugal.
She lives in Portugal.
Oh wait. I guess she lives, well, I mean, she lives in England, but she has like a house in Portugal, I think. Or her family's in Portugal. Okay, no, but I do like her studio though. It's very small. Okay, if it was just for the studio,
Hmm. Do you
I
want me to
don't
answer?
know. Yeah, answer.
All right. I was thinking like Florian Gatsby would be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, that would be a good studio.
because it's. I mean, I would have to keep the cleanliness up, but it, I don't know. I think the allure of the England studio. I was thinking Florian Gatsby, maybe like a Carly Ford, and then
Yeah.
because I was thinking like somebody that I wouldn't necessarily go to, like I couldn't go to normally. Because I was thinking initially like, oh yeah, like Kurt Hammerly, like that'd be cool. And then I was like, but I could probably like go to his studio and like see his studio. So I feel like the distance is kind of alluring. Hmm.
Hmm.
Do you think of somebody?
Well, I was thinking of that. Is he Nigerian, the Potter? The um
Oh yeah, what's it? It's like Clay Lagos, right? Or
yeah, Clay Lagos. That that's it. That's where I'd go.
what's
He's
that?
got a Brent. That's all I need.
Clay of Lagos.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be cool. Or like those
So
those
really, we're not choosing a studio here. We're choosing a location.
I mean,
But also,
I mean, I don't know. I like the I mean, I don't even know what the studio outside of like Florian studio would look like. It's I mean, I picture that it's probably like kind of semi residential I industrial maybe.
yeah.
But I know Kara's is at her house and it's like a little more in the nature and stuff. It seems to
You
be.
know whose studio I bet is really good? Keith Brymer Jones. It's on the
Mm.
water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm gonna still stick with I would like to go to like some place that has a different style pottery than I do, like Clave Lagos or maybe some like Japanese or Chinese studio would be my ideal. Oh my
Mm.
gosh, that guy that does those big ass pots, what's that guy's name?
Mundo
Mbang
Mundo Bang
Mundo Bango. Yeah, that would be insane.
or some of the like folks that do I think it's Mundo Bang, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the folks that work in those like heavy factories that are in, you know, India or something
India.
where they're producing those little kind of disposable cups and they just churn it out.
Honestly, I wouldn't hate that.
I
That would
mean,
be pretty sweet.
I don't know how the health situation would be there with all the dust everywhere. It seems like they are pretty dust heavy, but
But I think that I
it's for
don't
a
think you
week.
would,
Like,
well, I don't think you would go to like, especially go to something like that to, I feel like there's a level of like appreciation that you get when you go to someplace like that. Like,
mm,
how lucky are we to, you know, have filtration and have these certain things? But like, how talented are they for like the certain things that
yeah,
they do?
highly skilled, very skilled.
Highly skilled. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could inherit, can we do that for the next one? If you could inherit any skill or put that into one of them and just surprise me. But like if you could inherit anybody's skill, who would you inherit?
Ooh. Ooh, and we could split this out. We could say if you could inherit anybody, you're kind of like making a like a dream team of characteristics almost.
Yeah.
And you're saying if you could have anybody's social media content skill or something, if you could have anybody's business acumen, if you could have anybody's studio aesthetics or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I like that. We could do, oh my God, we could do a whole fucking episode like that. I already know my answer for that though. If you could have anybody's skill. Who would you have?
Hmm.
Do you want to know it?
No, I want you to hold on to it.
Okay.
Okay, we got Trading Studios with a Potter for a week. There we go.
I think Clay of Lagos is my final answer.
Okay. I still stick with Florian. I feel like that'd be kind of cool.
That's fair.
I don't know, like I wouldn't want to trade like I would want to be there while he's there. I don't think I would want to be there and then he come to where I'm at.
Right, it's like wife swap.
Yeah, we like trade places, so I get to do whatever I want in his studio. Maybe it's
Yeah.
like I visit
Just
him for a
visit.
week and then he
And then he
visits me
visits
for a
you.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. All right. So before we get to our topic, we got Ellen Ellis to talk about.
L's.
LNL. Um, been running my kilns back again a little bit. We're back to firing.
Yeah.
Pretty happy with the unload I just had today. Pretty solid. I ran it with the newer kiln, so firing time was a little lower than the last one, which is good. I did load it a little lighter, so it's kind of to be expected, but yeah, super solid. Um, I've been using those kilns for a while now, but like getting the hang of the confidence of even if you load it light, having the three thermocouples, like it's fine. It's adjusting on its own and it's gonna, compensate for the way it needs to, even though, I've got a lot more work in the very top of the kiln or vice versa. So super even firing and if I want to add a few more minutes on it or whatever, because I want to get a little more melt or whatnot. Maybe because the elements are getting a little aged, I can adjust that pretty easily with the controller itself too.
Yeah.
So super
I
solid.
just I would feel really grateful for my kiln right now, to be able to have it while traveling and while being in this location, but not with a location. Cause like I had a friend come over um on Saturday and they ended up painting some of my pieces that I threw like a long time ago. And you know when you have like random bisque pieces that just like hang around? She like painted a bunch of those. And because I have my mini kiln, I don't have to worry about like breaking any rules in the studio, as far as like somebody random ass person painting a pot and putting it in a kiln, and I can just put it in my kiln. It'll take a little longer to fire, but I know it's gonna be good, it's all good.
Oh, yeah, I did pack the shit out of my plug and fire last week because I was trying to get some
You
stuff
did?
bisked and came out good. The I fit like four big mugs in there and I stacked a bunch of little cups and test tiles in there. So I was trying to get that
Nice.
through because I just didn't. I had maybe like a third of a regular kiln to fill, and I'm not really one to barely fill a bisque kiln. I got to really pack that
It's
thing. So
really I think it's really freeing when you once you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'll I give, you know, and you like fill a half full bisque kiln. I think it's really freeing.
yeah, I had some mugs. I probably could have filled it a third of the way, but like I was saying, if you load it light, I mean, I would probably put some kiln bricks or I actually got some hard kiln bricks that I was using for the soda kiln that haven't been used. They're brand new. So sometimes I will put those on a shelf to kind of take up some mass if I were to load it pretty light. So
Yeah.
I've never done that for a bisque firing, but now that I've got the smaller one, I could just pitch in a few of those in the small kiln and run it and it cools so quickly as well. But yeah, super nice. One other thing with the loading and unloading, like I did sometimes I get a little tight with the shelves and kind of bump the element channel or bump the
Yeah.
thermocouple guard. Like it's nice to make sure that I'm not damaging anything from putting or like grinding down the walls or whatever if I've run into the kiln wall or you know
Yeah, for sure.
knock into a thermocouple. So those protectors are kind of nice to make sure it's keeps in good condition.
Yeah, I'm so grateful I have a kiln that has safety guards. I'm like
Hmm.
I'm like one of those people that if I haven't damaged the kiln within the first 30 days, I don't know what's going on. So, um,
You're like, I know it's gonna get nicked and dinged or whatever, so it's
might
just
as
part
well
of it.
just do it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so nice and it's so easy to replace anything if you did actually hit something. It like took me no time at all to replace the elements in my plug-in fire when some I was doing like a workshop for that, and I think the workshop was an hour and a half and I had like extra time. So it was
Yeah, I'm
very easy.
yeah, and you were dealing with a tighter box too. The box is a little smaller than your traditional box. So
Mm-hmm.
even with the tightness in there in the replacing the elements and stuff, you don't have to deal with
Yeah.
pins and all that stuff. It just kind of pops in there and
And
easy peasy.
I broke a screw, I think. I broke a screw. It was my fault. And I went on the website and it literally tells you exactly what size you need.
Mm.
No
Oh, so you can go to
questions.
the hardware store and get it?
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I like that it's compatible so you don't have to go out and get their proprietary thing.
Yeah.
Like these are extra special coated so they don't rust or whatever.
No, I think everybody knows that owns a kiln that anything, they're all rusting. They're all gonna rust. That's it. It's gonna rust. Okay. Just so you know.
Yeah, there's so much going on in there.
Yep.
Okay, so if you want to check out the kilns that we've got or that are available out there, you can go to Becca,
Hotkilns.com.
and then Insika will be around the corner here before you know it. So come out and see them. They'll have all their kilns on display, and they'll have the ones for sale. So if you're anywhere near Detroit and you're looking to get a new kiln, be on the lookout. Maybe I'm sure we'll be talking about it once they were closer to Insika time to
Yeah.
what kind of kilns they're gonna have, and be on the lookout there. So if you're in the market, we'll be
I'm in the
there.
market.
You're in the market. Do
I've
they
got
they
the
do have
budget.
I don't think they have the smallest one that you're talking about. That's not the plug-in fire there normally, but
No, they used to have it, but then the plug and fire took over that spot.
hmm
Rightfully so.
yeah,
So,
yeah. All right, we're to the topic for the day, which is a continuation of last week, which was the question that we asked to kind of kick off the conversation last week was how do you know when it's time to scale back, pivot, or even close a business for sustainability's sake? And we were kind of talking before this, having a discussion a little bit about like what did we cover last week so that we don't duplicate ourselves, but also what did we not touch on that we wanted to? So yeah, that's kind of where we ended up.
what we really ended up with was we don't really remember, so if we duplicate something, tough shit.
Yeah, I
That's
won't be
really what
that
we ended
blunt
up
with it,
with.
but we'll we have some other things that we had on our list that we wanted to touch on. So, because
Yeah.
we ended the last week talking about you deciding to close your business in March of 2020, and you kind of decided, oh, this is where I'm at. This is kind of the life I'm leading day to day. This is where I'm at, and we didn't touch too much kind of separate from you closing about some of the like financial reasons or
Mm-hmm.
financial things or considerations of maybe, hey, that like having to make a tough decision of closing or scaling back or something like that, like financially, it's on the horizon. What kind of
Yeah.
things am I looking out for? What kind of adjustments can I make? Um,
What should you maybe not do?
what are you thinking? What
Yeah.
what comes to your mind with you what you maybe should not do?
Well, here's what I think. And this is coming from somebody that I do feel like I ask a lot of I ask people to do a lot, you know? Or maybe not, I don't know. But I think that asking for help because you're maybe in a bind like once every now and then is fine. If it becomes a consistency, maybe it's time to you know, rearrange. Uh
Hmm.
maybe maybe just like take a sneak peek and see what's actually happening. You know, maybe maybe things need to change behind the curtain, you know, with maybe employees or if you have employees or um, you know, maybe maybe you're spending too much. Man, I am definitely guilty of that. And that's why maybe the marketing isn't working well and you need to kind of like pivot there. Um, so yeah, I think that that is something that is maybe a red flag to me.
And some of those could be, we see it every now and then with whether it's restaurants or small businesses. Hey, we're struggling. We're not sure if we're going to be open past the end of the month. We're looking for some community support. And at that point, that's what Becca's talking about. Like, you can only ask for support to keep you in business
So many times.
so many times until it's, well, they just always have something going wrong. And that's the kind of stuff that you should be planning for. And that's why you run a business in a way that you're profitable enough so that you can have money to take care of when things will go wrong.
Yeah.
And, you're talking about, spending too much money. Like, it could be that, keeping up with having a staff of four people is just so tight every month. Or, maybe sometimes you hear about people that are like, on a personal level, they're paying for too much of a house than they can
Yeah.
afford. Maybe you're paying enormous amounts for rent for a studio space, and it's like, this is ideally what I want. Like, I can grow into this, or maybe it worked for your business at a period of time, but maybe you scale back in how many people you have coming in. Maybe you don't need as much space as you thought for, your business model that you currently have. You know, maybe taking a step back. I mean, it's a big decision to take a step back and saying, well, firing employees is a big decision. Scaling back and saying, okay, can we deal with less space? Can we move studios to a cheaper place?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's moving costs that go into that, time lost from being able to continue making work to keep, I guess, the lights on. Like, you got to keep the money coming in. So if you make a move like that, like, and that's got to be a long-term choice. Like, am I saving money? Is that change of location like worth the money now to be able to save me a bunch of money in the long term, or is it kind of reactionary to, I don't have any money now, so I need to like cut the things that are costing me the most, but I'm going to be in a tough spot. I'm going to have to move again in like a year or something like that.
Right.
I don't know. I would also think like sometimes we I don't know, where's the balance of how much you just keep digging in of, I need to I need to
Like when do you say when?
market more, or like I need to keep up what I've been doing. Like, I need to um because some of the variables you can change ad hoc. You can change them whenever. Like, some things you can up your prices a little bit whenever you want. I mean, I wouldn't change them drastically all the time, but if you're realizing like I can't keep up with stock, that's why you raise your prices. Like, if you're chasing show to show and you've got to like work like crazy to keep up with it, like maybe you're working harder than you need to, and adjusting
Yeah.
your price a little bit can help you. That's also kind of a longer game too. Like you're gonna have to see the fruits of that labor of upping the price, seeing how much less you're producing, and then what are you doing with that extra time that you're not producing as much work? Are you putting more time into doing social media content so you can promote it your more? Are you reaching out to shops to figure out who you can partner with for like wholesale clients, maybe? Are you spending more time reaching out to existing wholesale clients to try to get more business that way? So maybe you're getting less bang for your buck from like retail sales, but you're doing wholesale, but maybe that's something that can hold you over a little bit. I don't know.
So hard. Yeah, I mean, like, I remember a couple years ago during COVID, I had a few friends that just worked in a supermarket to make ends meet. And there's nothing shameful in that. Literally nothing. Look at what I'm doing right now.
Hmm.
I'm, you know, I'm getting up at dark 30 every morning and going into my 6:45 to 3:15.
Hmm.
And
You're working 40 hours a week doing something and getting paid for it. And then, what
yeah,
energy and what motivation do you have at the end of that day to do the other creative things that you might want to do or to, you know, play with the cats or do whatever
yeah.
you enjoy doing that you had more time to do historically when you didn't have that job? What are you trading off? Hmm.
Right. And I don't feel like I'm trading off too much because I used to get up when I come home. So, you know. My day starting before like 1 on a weekday, not realistic. So,
You're talking about when you were working in the studio?
yeah.
Yeah, so working for yourself, you didn't it's not that you sat around and like woke up at 11 and didn't do anything, but you
No,
didn't.
that's exactly what I did.
That's exactly okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were doing other stuff like, oh, I would go next door and talk to the store owner next door and maybe take a long shower and maybe
Oh,
eat
I
a
mean,
little
like, yeah,
something.
doing your errands before you start for sure. But yeah, like I just like when I'm working by myself is what I'm saying, is when my days traditionally start way later. And now I have a job in the morning and like when I get my brain activity energized, I only have 2 hours left of work, you know? So I can come home and do work if I want to, or I don't.
Hmm.
And it might take a year and it might take 2 years and that's fine. And when you come back, it's really hard. And when you come back, it's really hard. I'm not gonna lie, because I've come back twice. When you come back, it sucks, but it's not impossible.
Is your when you come back and do it in your evenings and whatnot now, does your is there too much in your brain to be able to execute on the things you want to do because you just don't have that you don't have enough time to do everything that you want to do? Or is it just getting a balance of this is what time I have allowed, so this is what I can focus on,
Yeah, no, it's
and
more of a
that's it?
balance. So typically I work on Sundays and Monday evenings. I don't work, I don't work but 2 to 3 days a week. And on Monday evenings, sometimes they don't work and sometimes they do, but it's when they have class because I like to be there when they're having class. So, and a lot of times I'll work beside them doing just something I'm doing, and some of the times I won't. But
So the scheduled class time kind of gets you in there because it's already on
exactly.
the calendar.
Exactly. It's already on the calendar, so I know when it's gonna be every single week, and like that's why I don't like to do the podcast on Mondays.
Hmm.
And Wednesdays is kind of hard too because there's a class on Wednesday as well, but I'm I'm more okay with missing that one. So,
Right.
yeah.
So does the because I'm under the impression that if you're working all day, your energy is going to be low. You're not going to have enough energy to be doing the things creatively in the studio. Is that accurate, or is it more of a mental thing that
Well, you
you're
do
just
it.
not?
You answer that question.
I mean, I think my brain is just running with ideas that I want to execute on, and I want to keep things moving. So I do like I don't feel like sometimes I can it's hard to switch quickly. So like when we're podcasting, we start at 5:30 p.m. If I'm working a long day, like 30 minutes is almost not enough time sometimes to kind of
Yeah.
switch off one thing and switch on another thing, especially if I've got to like get ready for Erica to come in and work on something because I got to give her a list of what she needs to work on. So I don't really get a break, quote unquote, to switch the things off. Plus, work has been a little more, I've been a little more
Stressful.
busy in the last few weeks than I have in the past. Um, so my brain is working a lot more during the day than it has at some points. But yeah, I think that's where, and some of that's, you know, going on my daily walk during the middle of the day, like that helps because
Yeah.
I can go out and do that. So I pretty much try to do that every day, no matter if I have something to walk to the post office or not. So that helps. But just having some time to just be silent or
Silence is good.
because I find myself like consuming consistently, whether it's a podcast in my ears or watching something on TV or, oh, I got to reply to that message. Oh, I got to check my Instagram. Oh, I got to, make myself like making myself a cup of tea is not that big of a deal. But it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, I've got to respond to that email. Like there's always plenty to do. And that all takes mental energy, especially
Yeah.
to the extent that like I want to give enough attention to what I'm trying to answer if it's an email. Like I want to give all the details that I would if I was fully like alert. I don't want to give like a half-ass answer. So that kind of stuff piles up because I don't get to it as quick. But like, do you relate to that with getting into the studio? Like, do you feel like it's tough to do both at the same day, like that Monday that you're talking about, or do you have
Well,
enough of a balance?
I have enough of a break. So, like on Mondays, I come home and I sit on my bed and I do nothing until I need to go to class. And then I have something to do, right? So, yesterday, yesterday I literally planned on talking to nobody. And by nobody, I don't mean Preston or James because at this point they are just they don't stress me out, you know? They're just there.
Right.
That would be like you talking to Rachel, you know?
Right. Well, sometimes she stresses me out, but depends on the day.
Yeah, depends on the
She
art
could just have an
project.
idea and be like, "All right, I got an idea." And I'm like, "Oh shit, what's that?"
Yeah, shit. Um, no, but like and like yesterday I told Preston I was like, I'm not coming in, I'm not talking to anybody, I'm going out there and I'm not coming back. And he knew I was serious and like he had a an Amazon box for me because I get my Amazon mail to their house, and he brought it out here for me.
Oh,
He
so you
like,
didn't have to go there to get your Amazon box.
yeah, he like knocked on the door and he's like, "Hey, Becca, I knew that you didn't want to go back into the studio, so I brought this for you." And I was like, "You're literally the best." It
Mm,
was amazing. And but yeah, no, and it really did help. It did help just to not talk to anybody.
yeah.
Highly recommend it. Even if you can't, I think that even if you can't get it every day, if you plan a day to get it, it works almost the same way, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, scheduling for the like quote unquote free time. It sounds ridiculous. I have to schedule everything, but like scheduling free time, like I gotta leave days open. You gotta,
Yeah,
yeah, you can't just have everything all the time.
all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's talk finance. Let's put a hypothetical into the situation because I think
Mm.
that your hypothetical might be a little too much for most people, right? So like making 100 grand is maybe out of the reach of some people. And
Mm-hmm.
as far as like your side hustle is concerned, but I think that maybe 50 to 75 is good. See?
As a Yeah, I feel like that's still ambitious. If just straight revenue, right?
Mm,
I feel like
yeah, just
like straight revenue. I feel like most people are probably around the 10 to 25, maybe.
okay, but let's assume, I think for the sake of this conversation, we're assuming full-time situation. You
Oh,
depend
okay.
on it for your
Yeah.
livelihood.
Okay. You
Okay?
said side hustle, but yeah. Okay.
I know,
Full time.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I meant the opposite, but I said that. Um, okay, so full-time situation, you're in the weeds. What is, and let's say 60, okay?
You're
I feel
making
like the
60
people,
60K
yeah,
revenue.
I feel like the people I know that do this full time and still have like a house payment and all that shit make around 60. So,
Yeah. I wonder how much of that's profit if it's 60, because there's probably it's still tight with
well,
your
let's talk about that. Let's talk
profit.
about like what that looks like and what would be like, oh fuck. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, I would think I would hope you'd have at least, I mean, 20K of profit on
Okay.
60K, maybe.
And I mean, if it's your
That
full
feels kind
time,
of ambitious, but I mean, I
but
feel
let's
like if you're full time, you're probably pretty set on your equipment. You're probably not spending a ton of money on the big purchases
mhm.
besides like clay and materials and stuff like that.
And if you're full time, let's assume you have a home studio, okay? So you're writing off your studio as part of your taxes,
Hmm.
right? And so that isn't
It's not
a
costing
like
you money to rent. You're not paying rent for a
right.
place.
You're not paying rent unless you do rent it to yourself. I know people that do that, um but yeah, so you're not like it's not an extra expense to have the studio.
Hmm.
So you're at 60K. You're um we'll assume 20% profit or 20,000 profit.
Yeah, I feel like that's reasonable.
Okay, 20K profit. Uh, so expenses 40K. That includes write-offs to your house. But so um, and then what else do we need to take into consideration?
I mean, obviously there's partner situation. Like, do you have a partner? Do you share
Okay.
rent and expenses and everything like that, or are you solo?
Yeah.
I mean, some people
Yeah.
do like they live in an apartment, they make all their stuff at home. I'm thinking like Marg from Marg Ceramics, she lives at an apartment. She actually just went full time, and she fires her stuff at her grandfather's house. He has the kiln there, so she
Okay.
fires it elsewhere, but she makes everything in her apartment.
Okay.
So I don't,
So let's
yeah,
assume that
home
you're
studio.
single. Let's assume that you're single with no kids because I think that you can kind of like take
Hmm.
away from that, okay?
That yeah, that'll limit the
That gives us a
expenses
baseline,
significantly. Yeah,
right? That gives us a baseline. And I know that's unfair because a lot of people have kids, but just make more.
make make more.
I'm kidding. Okay, so let's just say you have your typical, like you need $60,000 to operate, okay? To live. Like $60,000. If you make $40,000, you're in the negative. If you make $50,000, you're like fucking close, right? And if you make $60,000, you're happy, but you're not going on any lavish vacations. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when would you start freaking the fuck out?
Well, I think understanding that your year is going to be cyclical, like some of it
Oh yeah,
is
that's true.
cyclical of like you're going to have high months and low months, and the high months need to carry you through the low months. You know, the first quarter of the year is going to be very low, like less than $1,000 a month, maybe of revenue,
Yeah, so you need to have savings.
or $1,000 a month. So like you're probably spending money to keep, the lights on from the high months. So, understanding how much you're actually making and historically have made month to month, year to year is going to give you a reasonable understanding of like how much did I make before. So like, you know, I would yeah, I mean, you should also definitely know how much profit you have any day of the week like when you're looking at your business. Like I don't think that should be a you don't want to figure that out at the end of the quarter or looking at your bank account like is there money in there or is there not money in there? Like I would hope you would have at least some kind of documentation about here's how much money I'm spending, here's how much money I'm making, and you can see how profitable you are whenever. Um, I don't know. I mean, an easy thing would be to look at your bank balance. I mean, that kind of is counter to what I just said, but I mean, I don't want to be. I would be worried if I had to pull from my personal finances to put into the business to be able to buy the things that I need to buy for the business. That's when I would be
Mm,
worried.
that's when you would start like being like, okay. I agree. That's one of the first things.
Because if that's the problem, you're probably not even paying yourself at that point. There's no way you can take money from the business account and put it in your personal account if you can't even buy the things you need for the business. So, if you've got to be like, oh, well, I need to buy $500 in clay, I'll just take that from my personal account because I don't have the money there. And then I'll do these shows and the shows will take care of it and then I'll pay myself back. Like, I mean, you don't want to be doing that habitually.
That's a red flag. That's a red flag.
Yeah, I mean, I would, I think you kind of do that initial loan to yourself, personal loan from your personal finances to the business to kind of get off the ground and get going. But once the business is going, I think if you could break even, everything after that, the business should be paying for itself. You shouldn't
Yeah.
have to be pulling money from your personal finances to put into the business.
Yeah, when I started my business, I don't know who told me. Somebody told me they were like, never, ever, ever pull money from your personal to your business. Like, just don't. And so I never did, but um, there was some close calls, some very close calls. I would say that when I was in Monroe, my flash sales were a sign of are you really okay right now? You know?
Like you had
So,
you had to do the flash sales to get by. Is that kind of what like because you
yeah,
had to do
like
flash sales, that's what
yeah, like I was like, "Hey, rent's due, got to do a flash sale." Like, so I think that even though those were super fun and they're like a memorable part, those flash sales were the number one, like the first sign that I should have been like, okay, I'm a little bit in over my head, you know?
hmm
So, yeah, and then because had I not had those flash sales, I would have had to borrow from my personal account that actually didn't have anything in it. So, also I think another big sign is if you have a business credit card, not paying it off.
Mm. I mean, I would probably recommend not having a business credit card, having a
Okay,
check a
yes,
checking account so that you're not spending money you don't have.
I understand that and I hear you and I agree. However, there are people in this world that don't. So, if you do have a business credit card and you aren't paying it off, that is a red flag. That's
I
like
agree.
a sign.
Mm-hmm.
That is not the same as a loan. Credit cards are not the same as a loan. However, you do need to pay your loan. But like if you get a loan for 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, $60,000 and you're paying that off, that's fine. But a credit card's interest rate is exponentially higher than a loan. So, um, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's another thing that I think could be something to keep an eye out for. Like if you're in the groove and you're used to make your making cycles, if you find that the finished
Mm,
inventory is piling up a little bit more than it used to, I mean, you're maybe you should shift your time a little bit to how do
yeah.
I sell this stuff a little bit quicker? Because I'm at a good spot with my inventory that, I you might need other avenues of selling it to get it out the door
Hmm.
so you can get that money moving rather
Same with
than
consistent shows.
I'm really good at making and I can build up that inventory, but I can't get rid of it until I get to these shows. I think finding that balance is really important for everybody to figure out. Do I have enough revenue streams or do I have enough places that people can buy my stuff or do feel like I really struggle with selling it? Some that could be pricing, some that could be market, some that could be finding customers. Um, like all those different areas influence it, but you might need to spend a little less time making, which will save you in material cost and, clay, glazes, all that, all those front end expenses that you're spending money on. And you might need to spend a little bit of money to get into to do more shows to help, you know, have you able to sell the things that you're producing.
Here's another red flag. I got another one. Can we just call this episode "What's Your Red Flag?" Um, uh, if you don't have enough money to apply for shows in January.
Mm, yeah, because I mean, if you can't even pay for application fees, that's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah.
You got to be able, yeah, gotta be like, how much money do I need to cover how much did I spend in application fees last year? How much did I spend in booth fees? Like that is the essential. If you plan on keep doing those, you have to at least cover those expenses. You can't even get in the door if you don't spend that money.
Yeah.
Have the potential for selling if you don't spend that money. And you might need to look at like which ones are worth it. You might need to analyze which shows gave me the most bang for my buck. Is it worth traveling 3 hours to this show that I made, $1,500, or could I do a show that's I get to sleep at home and I maybe make 700 or $1,000? It's less expense because you don't have to travel and you don't have to pay for lodging. Maybe you didn't make as much money, but like net profit, you probably profited more money by
Yeah.
not having to travel and do all of that and spend money for food and all the extra expenses that come along with doing an out of town thing. Ooh, here's another one. Let's say tax time comes up and you need to pay your sales tax
Oh my God, that's a huge one.
or your estimated payment, your income tax, if you have to do that. Uh, if you can't afford to do that
We
because
need to talk.
you spent the money that is owed to the government, yeah, you need to be accounting for that. Whether that's, using the tools that Becca's talking about, where she uses it with her Square account, and you can use the balance feature and designate money that gets set aside automatically, so it's out of sight, out of mind. That pot is
You
sitting
can,
there. You can do
yeah.
that.
If you're struggling with this, go back and listen to the Profit First episode we did for the book club with Taylor. I think we talk about it a fair amount there.
hmm And some of it I mean, you could also, we talked about having a separate business account. I actually kept one of my older business accounts that I use specifically for taxes. So auto move money from my one account to the tax account. So I designate money that's only supposed to be used for paying my taxes so that I'm not spending the money that's in the regular account with everything else that's being spent. Uh, it's already set aside. So that's kind of similar to what you're talking about with Square. But um,
Yeah.
yeah, don't be spending the government's money. That's what
They don't like that.
that's their money.
And they know how much you're supposed to pay
Mm-hmm. Yep.
because they
The
got tabs.
we kind of mentioned this about pulling money from your personal account, but also just not being able to pay yourself.
Mm.
That's definitely a red flag if you're like, well, I need to well, I can forego the money. I don't have enough to pay myself. I mean, what's going to continue keep going if you aren't making enough to at least pay yourself? And you know that slower months are going to be coming at certain times of the year, higher months are going to be coming. And if that means you you do the math of how much you make over the year, and scaling back on your month, like you average it out every month so that you pay yourself a reasonable average instead of, oh, the high months are coming, so I'm going to pay myself more. Like that money might need to be spread out over the other slower months too, so that you can adjust accordingly. Because otherwise, you're living large on those high months when it's going crazy in the sales, and then you're like, oh shit, but like slower months are coming ahead, so I need to space out and make it consistent so that I can pay myself.
I'm gonna interject really quickly and just tell you that Tammy just dove headfirst into a cat food box off of my shoulder. So we're having a great day over here. And
Dove in.
his little butt was sticking out because he couldn't like,
He couldn't get himself like squeeze himself out.
yeah. So anyway,
Mm.
that happened while you were talking just now.
I didn't hear anything, so it must have been very
That's good.
must have got blacked out.
Yeah.
Besides the besides like the paying the money for other stuff, like I mean, you also need to be able to prepare for needing to repair things. So like
Mm,
having a set of elements or having something to back you up when something comes up for your kiln maintenance, or if you've got to replace certain things, um if you need to get more glaze materials or whatever, like having money set aside for emergencies of being able to keep those maintenance items and those like essentials. Like you can't run your business without a functioning kiln, so being able to
yeah, having an
have
emergency fund.
have money for that kind of stuff to be taken care of.
It seems like, I mean, when you talk about this stuff, I think about like my past businesses and like how I've never had that shit. And I know that you've always had that shit. And I know that everybody listening probably 70% of us have that or don't have it.
Hmm.
And so I feel like an emergency fund is a really good goal. I don't know if it's like a red flag. But not having an emergency fund in your life, that's a red flag. But which I currently
Maybe
don't
it's a
have.
yellow, maybe it's a
It's
yellow
a
flag.
yellow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a
But I
yellow
mean
flag.
that emergency fund is going to cover so many things. It can cover a kiln breaking, it can cover a wheel going kaputs, it can cover you needing to pay your taxes if you
Yep.
happen to forget that. Like it can cover so many things. Like that's a good rule of thumb, I think, regardless.
Yeah. I think it's a good goal. It's a really good goal that a lot of people may not have. It should be a high priority goal.
Hmm.
I don't
Or
have an
like
emergency
they're
fund right now.
yeah.
It's rough. It's gonna be
how would
rough.
you would that be like what would get you in a good enough spot to be able to fund it? Like, is it I need to be so profitable to where I can fund it, or is it just eking away at it and just saying I'm designating a percentage of everything to this, or is it just there's
Yeah,
no extra to be designated to it, so it just never gets
for
allocated?
me, it would have to come out of Square and hit before I even saw it.
Mm-hmm.
A percentage before I even saw it.
Out of sight, out of mind. Okay.
Out of sight, out of mind. And keeping it in Square. Keeping it there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not making any interest. It's just stuck there.
Yeah, it's not painful to take that. It's not money that's in your hand and then you've got to take the money out of your hand and put it elsewhere to be like, okay, that's my piggy bank. It's like, no,
Right.
it's going in the piggy bank automatically. You don't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. But it's not incentive. You're not, and you wouldn't do like a flash sale to get an emergency fund. It wouldn't be like, hey, let's instead of reacting to something breaking, like, hey, let's get new elements for my kiln. You're saying, hey, it's not sexy to be like, hey, let's help me fund an emergency fund for when something's going to come up later this year. I got to do a
Right.
special, I got to do a special flash sale to fund my emergency fund. Like, is that going to incentivize people to buy as much because it feels, oh, it's nice to have an emergency fund versus something's wrong and needs addressing now. I feel like
It's
that
like,
urges action more than I want to be
right. It's
financially in a spot
be
where I can handle an
responsible.
emergency. Yeah. I would love to see that. I would love to see where you're, you know,
I would support that.
hey, the business is doing good. I'm not thriving. I'm not, sinking, but I would like to have an emergency fund. So I'm setting aside time to get $1,000 into this
Yeah.
pot.
God, I
And
would love that.
I want to get it there within 30 days. Can we make it happen? And, I think it's a good goal for people to uh set and shoot for. Yeah.
Hey, could we I'm gonna say this online and Ryan's gonna have to answer, but uh could we as a podcast donate $20 to the first 5 people that do that?
Ooh. We probably could. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. If you want to do that, if you want to get an emergency fund and you do like a crowdfunding,
What
uh
about should it be donation specific or is it I want to sell a certain amount and this is going to
yeah,
it? I kind of
even
like the
if you
idea that you're getting something rather than just taking donations because I don't know that
I agree.
it feels weird to donate to somebody's emergency fund.
Right, I agree. So if you do a sale specifically for your emergency fund, we will donate $20 without anything in return.
Yes.
Yes, up
What
to
did
a
you
hundred
say?
dollars. So
5 people? Yeah.
5 people.
5 people. Ooh.
Yeah.
I feel like this could be a trend. Somebody can get going. It feels like a 500 a day situation. It's like
Yeah.
it's a good financial, yeah,
Because even though Becca
motivator.
isn't financially stable, the podcast is. And the reason it is because of Ryan. So
Mm.
I hope you have a Ryan in your life like I do.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right questions to be like, how do you spark that urgency in somebody? Or is it just it's not that there's not urgency. They don't know. They know that they need to have it,
yeah, everybody knows they need to have it.
but what actual practical things can be done to do it? Is it or it could be I'm gonna get maybe it's I'm gonna get a part-time job long enough to where I can actually fund an emergency fund. And maybe you do that for a couple months or something. I don't know.
So, yeah, so however you do it, we'll donate $20. The first people, should we say the first people that reach their goal?
reach their goal. Oh, so they've hit the 1,000.
Mm-hmm. Like you
We're
hit a
kind of we're
thousand
considering
dollars.
an arbitrary. I think 1,000's a good rule of thumb, though, right? We kind of agree
Yeah,
that.
the first person to hit $1,000, the first five people to hit $1,000 towards their emergency fund, we will add an extra 20.
Yes.
Cool. Love it. Hooray. Now what?
Oh, I was gonna. There was a there was something that I wrote a note down about that I kind of related for restaurants sometimes. So every now and then I'll see a restaurant that will be killing it and they open another location and they're scaling up and I almost wonder like, ooh, I feel like I've seen this before. They scale up and it's like, can they retain the quality and the customer base that they had and they continue to have? Is it, do they have enough of a market out there to maintain two
Are you
and
thinking of
can,
our favorite taco place?
yes.
Okay.
I don't think they actually considered expanding. Well, yeah, I mean, oh yeah, I'm definitely thinking of them for sure. But I mean, this happens with retail locations a lot. I feel
Yeah.
like it's not unreasonable to see small businesses say, "I'm going to open a second location," and then you've got to staff two locations. You got to have inventory for two locations. You got to have, all that stuff. Rent, expenses, insurance, all that stuff, whatever. Um,
Employees.
yeah. Um, and I'm like, man, I hope that they don't open a second location because I feel like that's the start of losing what makes it special. I don't know. I don't, maybe it's
Mm,
just it's too removed from the tight knit community that's there. If it's like, oh, well, the backbone of the business is these people in these roles that make it sustainable for one location, but once you scale it up, maybe some of those people go to the other location, they lead it, and then they've got to hire new people in that maybe don't have the same secret sauce that made the one location work and
right.
they're not all under one roof so things get lost when you're trying to. I don't know, I feel like scaling up too quickly and knowing when to say, you know what, like what do we want for like what is our goal? Do we want to like serve the most people total, or do we want something that's like sustainable even if we feel like there's more, people have to wait longer? um
Right.
I'm thinking restaurant specific, but yeah, I don't know. I think the scaling up, and I wouldn't even say too, like, I wouldn't say that they're scaling up too quickly. They're like, they've been in business for like 6 or 8 years or whatever. Like, I wouldn't say that that's quick to open a new location 8 years after whatever it is, but I don't know. It just feels like, ooh, what's gonna pull me to that new location? Is there
Like
already
every
people
time
there?
you've seen that happen,
Not every time, but
it's
I feel like it's a risk that I'm like, ooh, there's
yeah.
I mean, one example was that brewery that I did the Mug Club with. They did that, and maybe they just picked a bad location. They had
Yeah.
a sweet spot home location, and spending a bunch of money to get it up and going for a new location, and you do your best to make sure that people show up, but there's still a lot of risk involved in making sure that you get enough people there to make it worth it to at least pay for the people that are there to staff it.
It's almost like have you considered just moving, you know? Instead of doubling, have you considered scaling?
Mhm. So maybe they own the building and they're like, well, we got pretty good rent or pretty sweet deal here, rather than, oh, maybe we sell the building, take the money from that and use that to fund a bigger space.
Right, in a new location.
And, does that mean that we have to close for a period of time, but we can turn it around and focus on building it to the place it needs to be?
So,
Like instead of a two times the size, maybe it's like one and a half times, and it's manageable with the price because you can shop around to different places that
exactly.
might work. Um, yeah, because I can also see. I think there has been. I mean, there definitely been potters that have done this. They've scaled up. They've had more staff. They get bigger locations for studios because they just can't accommodate everything, and they have people coming in and out of there, and they need to be able to staff it. Um, sorry, they need the space because they have five or six people in there, and they it's too tight for a tiny studio. But how much you know? Oh, I've got all this space, so I got to fill it with stuff. But
Right.
if you don't have the people to sell it to, or the the fluid cash flow of making it, having the people getting paid to make the thing and then selling the thing, you know, is it sustainable for
Yeah,
the
and
long term?
also this is kind of like a success slash I've seen a lot of people do this wrong on this in the same vein. Um so many people when they outgrow their current space, and I was actually just talking to a friend recently, when they outgrow their current space, they automatically think community space.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm gonna start a community studio. Instead of thinking, hey, maybe I need a bigger studio.
yeah.
And why are we going from 1 to 50 when we could be going from 1 to 20 instead, or 1 to 10? What is stopping you from just getting a larger studio and having it all to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? When you get a much larger studio and share it with a bunch of people, you don't have your work anymore. That work is compromised.
Yeah, you're more of a service than you are a a product business. You're
Right. And so, because recently somebody just asked me, like, hey, you know, what do you think about starting a studio? And I said, have you considered just getting a larger space? Because this person is an introvert. I don't see them talking to that many people all at once. And they enjoy their time alone, you know?
hmm
You don't have to make a community space.
yeah. Is there is it the draw that, well, I know there's customers out there that want to learn it. So
I'm
it's a
sure
draw to be like, oh, well, I can pay for the rent with teaching, and it won't be that big of a
a difference.
undertaking. Like I can bring four wheels in and teach, and that'll pay for my rent for the month. Then I don't have to worry about selling my stuff
Yeah,
to keep my bills paid for. So
right.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's money out there to teach, but it's like, what trade-off do you want? Do you want to spend your time hands-on with people? Do you want to spend your time marketing? Do you want to like you're continuously getting new customers all the time, and you need to keep those new customers flowing. Unless you're a membership, and I don't know many community studio spaces that are strictly membership only, and it's pretty
Right.
self-running because you got to deal with like reclaim and firing people's work and issues that come up with firing and charging people to pay for their space and charging people for firing. And do you have supply? And then you're like, well, do we have studio glazes, or do they have to do all the glazes? Oh, well, if I offered studio glazes, I could offer more money for membership because I'm providing more value. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that Liz Cohen has a really good system and compromise for that. Because we had that conversation a long, long time ago, when she was trying to like figure out how to pay her rent for her space. And and she doesn't have a community studio. She has a studio with like 5 potters. And
Yeah,
those five
it's
potters,
individual membership, or it's, yeah, they're basically she's subleasing the
she's subletting,
space.
yeah.
so they can do what they want in their space. They're all individual, like self-motivated
Yeah, and
potters.
so she has her own independence and she doesn't have to babysit, you know?
Yeah, that's nice.
So,
What about
yeah. Oh, go on.
similar to what you're saying with the community space? What do you think about the idea of I'm gonna have my own bigger space, but I'm gonna have a gallery part to it, and I'm gonna be able to sell my work because it not doesn't necessarily invite people to come in to be taught, but it's more like, well, I'm gonna get this space because I'll be able to sell more work and I'll have a place to display this stuff.
I mean, that only works if you're on a main street, and or you're big enough for people to be like, yeah, I want to come over and say hi. But then when people come over and say hi, they waste all your fucking time and you never get anything done.
So like
Not that I have an opinion
it's got to
about
be
it
a
or
sweet
anything.
deal. It might be better to get a
Gotta be a
bigger
fucking sweet ass
it
deal.
might be better to
Yeah.
get a bigger space in a more, less desirable um studio situation. Like it might be, less it's not a main street. Like you're paying the premium for like a main street location because of foot
Yeah.
traffic and all that stuff. Like they're accounting for that.
And then goodbye to all of your time. Just bye.
Because then you've got to have business hours that you're open for the gallery. Do you have other commitments? Do you have to be participating in the art walks that happen monthly or whatever it is? You got to
Yeah.
clean your space and make it presentable. I don't know.
So,
I kind of like the situation that like Melanie at Swell has where she's got the studio in the back. I don't know. I need to check in with her a little bit, but I think she's got a couple people that help her out with some things. Her mom helps her. She's got somebody else that helps
yeah.
her. But she's got the studio that's like the back 2/3 of the building, and then the front third is a gallery. But it's not like it doesn't seem like it would be that crazy of rent.
Yeah.
And it's not a massive studio that's like, oh, I gotta fill this thing. It's
Here's what I say. If you're gonna do that, start with the studio and move into the gallery. Get your shit figured out first, and then move into the gallery.
Yeah,
And
I wouldn't necessarily move into the gallery situation if I don't already know that there's customers for my like I would want to know that there's already a bunch of customers for my work
yeah.
that I could draw people to the gallery. If
Or
I'm
just do by
hoping,
appointment only.
yeah, yeah. If I'm hoping for foot traffic to help me, oh well, having a gallery will help me sell more of the stuff that I have sitting around on shelves when I'm not at shows. Like I
Make better
wouldn't
shit.
I wouldn't bank on that being a ton of money.
Yeah.
Um I mean, depending on where you're at, but if you're at a good spot where it's pretty like like the Pendleton Gallery, you've been there, haven't you, where the Clay Alliance Gallery is?
Yeah.
So that's a whole building. It's 8 floors of artist studios, and they have monthly art walks. So it was 12 times a year. They have customers come and buy stuff, and they can go into your studio and open. If you're open, if you want to open, you can have people come in your studio and buy stuff. The Clay Alliance has had a gallery there for 7 years now. So we're like getting some continuity and getting people in there, and it takes a long time to get foot traffic. Like we're just now hitting a stride the last couple years of getting consistent sales of like,
Is the gallery open all the time?
it's only open 12 days a year.
Okay, okay, okay.
But we have members that can come in and just drop things off and pick things up and, stuff like that. But it's not easy because we're on a certain floor. You've got to, let people in the front door for the building and then you've got to, bring them up to your studio and stuff like
Right.
that. Um, so it's a little tough. And then it's like, do you do an art walk or do you do an additional like show on or gallery exhibition or something on certain days to draw more people? Are you big enough to draw people or are you taking advantage of while people are already in the area and in the space? A breakout weekend for us on a show night would be like $1,000, but that's not common. Like a lot of times we've had $500 sales, the one day a month that we're open. but we
Right.
have 25 artists featured in the gallery, so like there's a lot of different work in there. It's so in that building has like they've had those Final Fridays for like 20 years or something. So, but the rent for that isn't I mean, I don't know relatively what it would be, but like $300 a month, $350 a month
Which is nothing.
for a studio space, and you've got to cover $350. So like we cover that, but if that's all we relied on was the monthly art walk, then at least in that situation, you can spend your time selling in other avenues. But um, yeah, it can be tough if you don't like. That's where I would want to spend my time doing the sales avenues that are making me like I'm gonna say the most money, but have the continuity of like the sales consistently. So if you're like really good at shows, you should be doing shows. Like if that's what you want to be doing and how you get the most return on your investment and you don't
But
feel
what if
like
you're really good at shows and you don't want to be doing shows?
then you got to find something else that
Like
makes it
what
more
it,
worth it.
yeah, because like I know some people that are like really good at shows and they're like, I'm getting fucking old for this. Like I'm like this is not what I want to be doing on my weekends.
hmm I think you're spending time maybe you take off some shows that you don't want to be doing and spend a little more time putting more inventory online if you want to be doing the online thing, spending more time marketing the stuff that you're putting online. I like
Consignment.
it's a slow, yeah, maybe consignment, reaching out to some
God,
shops and let them do the selling for you.
If I had like 10 consignment shops, I'd be fucking dope. Be dope.
That's a lot of work. 10?
Yeah, but if that's all you do,
How many consignment shops do you have now?
one,
2?
one,
One? Do you still
yeah.
you don't have anything at Queen City? You can give more stuff to Queen City, by the way.
Oh yeah, I know. I need to.
They
I
have
did just get a
earrings.
check from them.
Yeah, they sold all your little
Um,
muggies. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I saw a customer at the Michigan Pottery Tour this weekend that had your mug earrings. They got them at Shipshewana last year.
oh,
She was wearing them
fun.
to the tour, and I was like, "Oh, those are cute earrings." And I looked at them closer. She's like, "Oh yeah, I got them at Shipshewana." I'm like, "Oh, you got those from Becca? Those are the little mug earrings. She made those last fall because you had them at the
Oh,
coffee festival too.
I
So
did. Yep,
very appropriate."
little
But
muggies.
yeah, I mean, it's a slow growth in those other avenues. If you don't want to be doing shows, you got to be spending your time doing other things and working on it little by little to ramp up on the, and then,
Yep.
probably dropping shows that aren't as worth it for you. Um, maybe that means you do 5 2-day shows in the year instead of 12, where 6 of them are 2-day and or 7 of them are 2-day and uh, 5 of them are 1 day. Maybe you dwindle out the 1-day shows because it's just too much work and it's not worth setting up and tearing down the same day and making $1,000, $1,500
Yeah.
maybe doing a 2-day show that's gonna make you $4 or $5,000 or has the potential to get there. I don't know. It's hard to turn down the thing that you're comfortable with that works well. Like what incentivizes you to change things up unless a life circumstance forces it. Like, oh, I've got kids at this age at this point, and I've got to go to their football games that are on these days, or they've got whatever they got baseball games on Saturdays, or soccer games. I can't miss those, so I have to pick between them.
Yeah. Gotta start doing galleries.
Galleries and be okay with giving up the percentage. I'm giving up the percentage
Hmm.
to save myself all the energy from having to schlep
To
all my
be with your
stuff to
kids.
and from shows and yeah.
We have to go.
Yeah. Damn, we did. I didn't realize it was 8 o'clock.
I know.
All right. Well, hopefully that was I feel like part 2 was longer than part 1.
It was, and I think it was better.
Getting better, getting better. That's good. We were worried we didn't
Notice,
have anything to talk about on part 2.
I know. I think that's why, like, I said that last time. I was like, man, we need a part 2 because I felt like it was just getting juicy, and then we had to leave. I had to go take a shower, and like I should take a shower tonight, but I'm not gonna, and uh, because I'm working by myself, so who fucking cares? And uh, but like last time, I had to take a shower. Like there
Yeah.
was,
Is it getting more comfortable at nights though? Like, do you have some air movement? Do you have your little
oh,
fan on?
it's
It's
literally the most lovely
like
weather.
70, 60s,
Yeah,
high
it's
60s at night.
70. I think it's like high 60s right now. It is
Whew.
so fucking beautiful here. Like literally when it stopped being like Satan hot, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is why people live in North Carolina." It's fucking beautiful. And honestly, the humidity is not as bad as I thought it would be. Like
Yeah, you
overall,
gotta.
but to be fair, um it from what I understand, we're not in a super duper humid area. Like there's other spots of this area of the state that are just like fuck me. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that are like Satan's snot hot.
Yeah, you gotta savor those good days
Yeah.
because it's gonna turn. I don't know. I haven't really been to North Carolina in the winter too much. I've been to Raleigh in October before. It was pretty good. I wouldn't say it wasn't cold then, but it wasn't like super hot. So I feel like that's a good time of year. Fall in North Carolina is pretty great.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yep.
All right, folks, look out for the new Sula bags. Pot swap. Actually, today is pot swap day. If you're listening to this and you haven't signed up for pot swap, sign up.
Oh
This is
God.
going out on the 11th of
I'm
October.
stressed.
I'm stressed too, but we'll make it through. We'll make it through.
I feel like last year we were so much more prepared than we are this year.
I Yeah, I gotta delegate some more. I'm trying to delegate some. I'm delegating yeah, we're delegating some things, but yes, it is coming fast.
My camera's not on, so I can't see my face, but I'll turn it on because I want to show him. Okay. Can you undisable my fucking camera, please? You bitch.
I didn't know I
Okay,
disabled it.
this was my face.
You're meditating. You're just thinking
Yeah.
deep. It's like the Abe Lincoln thinker, right? It's like a
Yeah.
ooh,
You
look
like
at
my
those.
fingernails?
Very nice, very nice.
They're like tie-dye this week.
Sweet.
I should probably start posting pictures of what nails I do every week.
Ooh, another episode of Wheel Talk, another new set of nails.
Yeah. Fun.
There we go. All
All
right,
right.
folks, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to another episode of Wheel Talk. This podcast is made possible through the contributions of all of our listeners who always ask us great questions, leave us reviews, and contact with us through social media. Thanks to all the fellow makers as well who take time to be interviewed and share about their lives and businesses.
And thank you to Ashley from Boldover Ceramics and Lindy from Lindy Garner Ceramics for their assistance on the Whale Talk Podcast Instagram. You are invaluable. Thank you to everybody.